media. We'll get you out here before the top of the hour. Give you guys have time to get those bets in for the primetime games. That's what we do here on the drive-thru Monday through Friday, 6 p.m. Eastern. We'll have free picks from the entire card from Major League Baseball, the preseason games as well. We always leave a segment at the end for Peripheral. So if the guys want to give out player props, Olympic picks, season win totals, we save that for the final segment. So let's meet the crew today. Brian, what's happening?
Can't complain here off a 3-0 perfect Thursday. Going to try to carry the momentum into the weekend. Love today's card. I can't say that I've said that about baseball very often, but I love today's card. Hopefully it's a big winner for us.
Absolutely. Rod, what's going on?
No, not too much.
Congratulations to Canada.
Yay, good luck. Congrats to Canada. They got themselves a nice 4x100 gold medal. Definitely can't complain about that. So definitely good to see. I don't mind seeing that. We just see a couple guys on there under the grass. I think that'll be it for him. That'll be his swan song, winning himself a gold. He didn't qualify for any of the other 100 meters and 200 meters like he normally does. So good on him. Happens. Sometimes those teams sneak up and surprise you. Good on the Twins getting the win earlier, 4-2 today. Definitely still lots of action off a 2-1 Thursday. Looking to continue that into the weekend. Thanks to the Giants. 1-0 in the preseason to kick it off. So let's start a nice preseason weekend.
Absolutely doing that. All right, Kirk, how you doing?
Doing well. Actually really hot in the MLB, but I was on the wrong side of that preseason game yesterday for the Patriots-Panthers and looking to get it right as I have one play tonight. But, yeah, looking to chop up the card tonight. I agree with Brian. I think it's a really nice card today, and honestly, all weekend I'm liking the way this card's shaping up.
Javon, what's up?
Hey, what's going on? Productive night last night. Looking to keep it going for today. Got 3 on the MLB side, 3 on the football side. So, looking to keep going.
All right, Packer Kevin Thomas, how you doing?
Tony, how can't we be excited? We got NFL preseason football, 2-0 yesterday to start. I mean, how can you not be excited? It's football time. I don't care if it's preseason. I don't care if it's third-string quarterbacks. It's football. America loves to bet football. And I'm not talking about that round football. I'm talking about the real football.
Real football there. There you go. Show them the football. There you go, guys. A lot of unders yesterday. A lot of under. Everybody was afraid of the unders because we saw the Hall of Fame game. Remember that Hall of Fame game? We had 6 quarters was NFL starting experience. So that was a aberration there with that over 2 unders yesterday. All right, let's get underway, guys. You guys know the format for the morning show. Let's get underway. Start with the games here. We know the Yankees, Angels postponed. Tomorrow will be a doubleheader, so we have remaining here on the card today 14 games. We start now here. Angels, Nationals, Orioles, Rays, Athletics, Blue Jays. Start with Brian.
Yeah, for me, out of this group in here, I got to say I like the Tampa Bay Rays at home on the money line. Now, I know over the last 10 games, the Orioles have owned the Rays, winning 8 of 10. But, over the last 10 games, I think the Rays have played better baseball. I think 6 of 4 last 10 to Baltimore is 5 of 5. You got Zach Eflin on the mound. I saw him pitch a lot with the Philadelphia Phillies. Over his 2 starts with the Orioles, he's given up 15 runs. Yeah, 15 hits, 5 runs over 12 in the third. I like Lytle here of Tampa Bay. 6 of his last 8 starts have been competent starts. He's had 2 starts out of the 8 that he's got blasted. But I think tonight we get a good start for him at home. I'll take the plus money with the Tampa Bay Rays.
All right, we'll go over to Rod.
And I got to agree. I like the Rays here at home. Too much plus money to pass up here. Sure, you got Eflin going against his old team in Tampa, but I think this Tampa Bay Rays team, they've seen them before, and I think they spoil that party. So give me the Rays in that one. And you know what? This Jays team, they're hit or miss, and I don't want to be laying $1.55 with Barrios, who's been hit or miss as well. I mean, he's pitched a little better lately, but this Oakland team has been smashing right-handed hitting. So I like Oakland here at the plus price. You look, the Jays have lost 8 straight night games following a win, so just don't pack wins together is what this Blue Jays team all season long. All value there on Oakland. Give me Oakland in that one.
From Rod. All right, over to Kirk.
Yeah, I'm with Rod on that one. I'm looking at Oakland in this time slot at the money line. We're getting pretty good value here, around plus 130. Mitch Spence has been pretty good this season, and as Rod said, the A's have been hitting the ball really well. Coming off a series win against the White Sox. I know it's the White Sox, and it was the first White Sox win in a while. But it had pretty good series against Athletics, Dodgers, Angels, Astros recently since the All-Star break. So I like for them to keep the momentum going tonight in this one.
Or to Javon.
Yeah, I'll lean Oakland. Don't love it, but it's just a fate of Berrios. I was about to call him Braxton Berrios. It's Jose Berrios, different sport. Yeah, but yeah, I'm in the football state of mind. But anyway, it's just one of those things where Toronto, bad bullpen. Starting pitcher who hasn't really been up to form for the majority of the season. So, coupled with the fact that Oakland has been hitting the cover off the ball, for a while, you got to take that plus money and rock with it.
Here we go. On over to Kevin.
Yeah, I was looking at the Orioles Rays last night. I think Ryan Pepe was supposed to be the starter for the Rays, and I love that under 7.5. And now I see, Lytle's on the mound, and I see the under at 8. I'm still going to go there just for the fact that Zach Eflin played with these Rays, and usually when a pitcher plays against guys he's played with for a while, he knows their tendencies. So I could see this one going under, especially when I'm looking at almost 99% of the money and 98% of the bets on the over. People love the over, but I think that's going to be a nice little under right there.
There from Kevin Thomas. Yeah, and these 3 games, the lines move too much for me to recommend Angels national game or the one we talked up earlier here with the we have 2 games we covered. But the one I'm going to give out here is with Baltimore. I'm not a big Zach Littell fan, a reliever that's been converted to a starter who's having some struggles. Listen, Baltimore has won 8 of 10 against the Rays. They did show a little bit of a comeback at the end of that game. I like that momentum here at the end of those late innings. Baltimore can put up runs with a 54-run differential on the road this year, and they're hitting the ball well. I'll take Baltimore in that spot. All right, let's continue here on the drive. You guys, we get ready here for the next games, next 3 on the menu here for this Walter menu here, 14 games, as we do have that rain out tonight with the Yankees and the Rangers. All right, the next slot of games, Padres, Marlins, Astros, Red Sox, Reds, Brewers. We go to Brian.
Yeah, for me, out of this grouping here, I'm going to take the Miami Marlins here on the money line. I think you're going to get a ton of bandwagon guys all over the San Diego Padres team at minus 130. You're like, how can you not take a team winning winners of 5 straight at this low juice price? But Edward Cabrera, a pitcher that I really like, I think he's got a ton of talent. He's starting to come on recently. He's had 4 sturdy starts in a row. I'm not going to say quality because I think you got to go 6 innings for a quality start. But you got Martin Perez on the other mound, and he's been hit or miss. I think he's had 2 good starts in a row. Before that, he gave up 5 runs, 6 runs. So for me, I'll take a chance here with the Miami Marlins at home on the money line.
Rod's on my line there. All right, we'll go over to Rod.
And for me in this one, I'm not going to get in front of the San Diego Padres train. I like the Padres here in the spot. I know that Cabrera has picked it up and been pitching not bad, but this Padres bats have been smashing. And I know the Marlins have been hitting lefties not too bad, but at this spot here, I don't want to lay with the Marlins. I think it's probably a close game. I don't want to lay a run line here with the Padres either, as they've won some close games. Their bullpen was a little bit beat up and a little bit suspect in that last series, so I think they still pull out the win. The Marlins plus the 1.5 and the Padres money line there for me. And then we went St. Louis, Kansas City, and what's the other one? Houston, Boston.
Houston. What we got here? We had Padres, Marlins, Astros, Red Sox, and Reds, Brewers.
Yeah, the Red Sox, Brewers.
No, Red Sox, Astros. And Reds, Brewers. Yeah.
And Reds, Brewers. Are Reds and the Royals? No, Reds.
No. Reds, Brewers, Astros, Red Sox, Padres, Marlins.
Okay. And then in that in the Reds and the Brewers, for me, it's just a fate of Savali. Savali on the mound. I see him, and I'm running the other way. And you're going to give me a plus price with the Cincinnati Reds? I'll take it. I know the Brewers have been hot. Not with Savali's been on the mound. He's got this 5 earned run average, and I think the Reds, the way they've been smashing and get to him there. So give me the Reds in that one.
Go with Rod. We move over to Kirk.
Yeah, I think this is a very good overslate, these 3 games, especially the Padres Marlins. We got Perez on the mound. It was a 6.44 away ERA, and Cabrera has just not been that good all season. He had a 6.14 ERA in the month of July. 9 of his last 10 starts have gone over the game total of 8. And Padres are one of the hottest teams in the MLB, but the Marlins are also over 8, 8.5 seems like a steal in this one. And same with the Reds Brewers. We're getting over 8.5 with Savali on the mound. He's a 5.48 night ERA, second highest home over rate in the MLB. The Brewers have at 66%. And Carson Spears has not been that good either at night, 4.38 night ERA. And the Reds have scored 32 runs over their last 4 games. So that's 8 per game. I think we see a ton of runs in both of these games. Give me a time slot parlay for these 2 overs.
All right, we'll go over to Javon.
Yeah, the Padres game could be a trap game. Just one of those things where I'm walking into the trap. San Diego, they're hot. They could have they could be, facing the deficit in the late innings and come back. That's what they've been doing. No lead safe with them boys. That's just the fact of the matter. Eric Cabrera, he has pitched better as of late. I'll give him that. And I was on him in a spot where he actually won, but I don't know if it was last start 2 starts ago, but it gets down to the bullpen. I like my chances with the San Diego Padres, whether they're up or whether they're down, and I think that they get it done. And I'm on the Reds. Like Raj said, it's just the fate of Aaron Savali. He's just a pitch away from, getting sent deep. Is how I look at him. So, like I said, I see him, and I want to go the other way. It's really just, the fact of the matter with him. So I think the Reds get to him early, and coast. Not saying coast, but hold on to a victory.
And go over to Kevin.
I'm looking at the Red Sox on the run line just to get us some value here at plus 150, just because I know Ronel Planko. He's a good pitcher, but in his last 5 starts, he's given up 6 home runs, and now he's in Fenway Park against one of the hotter hitting teams right now. I know you can say, well, the Red Sox bullpen hasn't been great, but they've been getting better and healthy. The Astros on the other side, I know they just scored 6 runs, but that's like the most runs they've scored in a while. Their problem has been consistency hitting. Still no Tucker in that lineup, so get pitch around them a little bit. So I'm willing to take the Red Sox on the run line, and I would actually look a little bit at the under too, just because you can get plus 100 on that at 9.5.
Yeah, for Kevin Thomas. Yeah, I'll also look here. I won't look runner. I look at Red Sox money line there. Houston, a losing road record, losing about nearly 6 units this year. And, of course, the Red Sox bats have been hot, put up nearly 7 runs a game over their past 10. Yeah, I'm going to fall in that trap, too. I'll take the Padres. 283 hitting team the last 10 games. They hit the ball well on the road. Marlins at home, a minus 90 run differential. No, thank you. I'll look at the Padres in that spot. And I'll take the plus there with Cincinnati because they're bullpen. And they've been a good road team, plus 43 run differential. Reds bullpen has held up on the road this year. And they play well against good teams, 14-13 against teams with these 540 or higher win rates, plus 6 units. So there with the plus there with Cincinnati. All right, guys, continue here on the drive-through morning show format today, guys. That's our format now. You guys in the chat seem to like it. Our viewer count's good, so we'll continue to do it. All right, next set of games here, all 8:10 Eastern here. Game 2, Guardians, Twins, Cardinals, Royals, Cubs, White Sox. We'll start with Brian.
Yeah, this is a pretty nice time slot here as far as free picks go. I'm going to go with the Cleveland Guardians in Game 2. We got Ron Romanelli's guy, Alex Cobb, a guy he picked to win the Cy Young a few years ago. That didn't work out, but you know what? He's looked all right in the minor leagues in his rehab starts. 22 innings pitched, 3.52 ERA, a 1.26 WHIP. You got Louis Varland on the mound for the Minnesota Twins. I might have pulled the Kevin Thomas mispronouncing his name. He's looked good in minor league baseball. As far as the majors go, he usually gets lit up. You're going to give me the Cleveland Guardians at a nice price like this. I think I'll take Cobb and the Cleveland Guardians here on the money line.
Over to Rod. You're on mute, Rod.
In this time slot, there's a couple I like here. And we'll start with St. Louis and the Royals. You look, Michael Lorenzen going to get the start here for the Royals in that one. And, I'm just going to completely fade that guy. Miles Mikolas, we know what he's done this season. He's actually pitched not too bad. He's had some blips and blops. But when it comes to these two head-to-head, you look, the Royals have lost each of their last 7 games versus the Cardinals in Kauffman Stadium following a win. So give me the Cardinals here in this one. And then the other one I like, I'm going to fade Jameson Taillon. Taillon has been a dumpster fire. I anytime I see that guy, it's like Savali. I'm running the other way with Taillon on the mound. You look, Taillon has already faced the White Sox once this season. And guess what? He got hit up 10 hits, 5 earned runs in that matchup. So for me, and that's what we got Crochet on the mound. And you know what? He's pitched pretty well in spots this season. And you know what? I think he's got a little yappy. And I think he puts his money where his mouth is here in this one. We know it's the Battle of Chicago. And I think the place is going to be jumping. So give me the White Sox. I'm going to take a different approach. I'm going to take the White Sox -1 at a +200 in the first 5. I'm going to avoid that White Sox bullpen because you know what it can do. It can implode. So give me the White Sox -1 first 5. I think they have a good start here in this one.
We go over to Kirk.
Yeah, I'm going to be on the White Sox as well in this one, pretty much what Rod said. I'm going to take them the full game. They blew the first 2 games against the Cubs and lost both of them 7-6. And I think with Crochet on the mound, he gets it done today. I don't trust Taillon on this spot. And if they win any of these 3 games in this series, I think it has to be tonight with Crochet on the mound. I like the plus money that we're getting with the White Sox. And, yeah, White Sox is going to be my play in this one.
Over to Javon.
Yeah, I was gonna back the first 5 with the White Sox, but since that's already been touched, I'll just go with the under, whether it's first 5 or full game. I think both of these pitchers have solid starts. You know, Crochet only went 4 innings in his last start, but he only gave up 1 run. You know, so it's a positive start. So like I said, you take them first 5, take them full game, or do both. I think you're on the winning side with that one. Even with this trash bullpen that the White Sox have, I think it's going to be low enough going into the late innings to where it's not going to be a factor. It might be like the game where they blew against the against the Oakland Athletics, where they ended up losing 3-2. One of those type of games, and they were up 2-0. You know what I mean? So that's what I like.
Over to Kevin.
I'm going to go with the Royals against the Cardinals here. Michael Lorenzen a little bit better at home, but statistically all around, the Royals are a better team than the Cardinals. For the -120 to start this series, I'm definitely going to lean on the Royals here. And, and I would look at any Bobby Witt Jr. props for this game as well.
That's from Kevin. All right. For me, I'll be looking at the Guardians-Twins game 2 to go over. The Twins bullpen has been hit over the past 10 games, ERA over 6. Remember that White Sox series? They gave up a lot of runs to those White Sox. So I'm a little concerned about the Twins bullpen now that you're into a game 2 now with a doubleheader. Cobb may not be going very deep in this game, so the Guardians bullpen could be a little taxed here in game 2 of a doubleheader, and both lines have been hitting. So we'll look here at over in that spot. For me, in the other one I like the Royals here, laying that price against the Cardinals at home. We know the Royals have been a really good home team, hitting 268 a +62 run differential at home. Michaelis, let me just verify it if it is Mike. Yeah, Michaelis. My goodness, Michaelis. Yeah, no, thank you. No, thank you.
There's Kevin Thomas to say that.
Yeah, Michaelis. No, thanks. I will take the Royals based on the strength that they're hitting at home, and of course that good run differential. And of course, kind of a fade here with Michaelis past 4 starts, giving up 15 earned runs and 5 homers over just over 21 innings. So that's what I'll look there in that one. All right, continue here on the drive-through as we continue our Major League Baseball rundown. We get through every game here that's remaining on the board, and our next set of games here will be Braves, Rockies, Phillies, Diamondbacks, and an interesting one tonight between the Pirates and Dodgers. We start here with Brian.
Oh, did we already do Seattle and New York Mets?
That's last.
Okay. So
yeah, we're going to do 2 of you.
So I'll do one off the cuff here. When in doubt, fade the LA Dodgers. For me, Pittsburgh Pirates, definitely scrappy blue-collar bunch all season long. +1.5, you're only laying about -120. Jack Flaherty definitely looks good for the Dodgers, but Mitch Keller definitely having his best season, I think, for the Pittsburgh Pirates. So I think it's a one-run game. I'll take the Pittsburgh Pirates plus 1.5 here.
All right, so there from Brian, we go over to
And that's why I agree. All the values taking the Pirates here with Mitch Keller
Blues
on
are
the
up.
mount in that one. So you got to go with the Pirates and fade the Dodgers there in that one. And then the other one in this time slot, you look at Atlanta taking on Colorado, 10.5. I think that's a little light. I like the over there. Garrett Holmes getting the start for Atlanta, and he hasn't been good. He hasn't been good at all. He's one of those relievers that they're putting into the starter role. He went 4 innings last time out, and the Marlins got to him. 7 hits, 3 earned runs, a home run, and a walk. Time before that, the Brewers got to him, and they're going to try this again as a starter. I don't know. It doesn't seem to be faring so well for the Braves in that spot. So I expect the Rockies to be able to crush Holmes and get some runs. And then on the other side, Colorado starting Gordon, and he hasn't been good either. So over 10.5, I like that's the play here. Atlanta, Colorado in that one. And the Phillies in Arizona. I got to go with Philly in that one. I think Zach Wheeler has pitches a gem here in that spot, and they get the win. They continue that success that they've got. They've won the last 2 games, continue to roll off their losing streak. I'm going to go against Arizona here. Well, I know Arizona has been hot, and at that plus price at home, I think they're begging to take the plus price at home. Give me the Phillies.
Phillies from Rod. We go over to Kirk.
Yeah, I think the Diamondbacks are a trap play in this one, but I'm going to look at this one differently. I'm going to take the over in this one. The Diamondbacks quietly now score the most runs per game in the MLB per game, and they've just been so hot lately. It's hard to fade them, not getting runs. 10 of their last 12 have gone over the game total of 8.5, and Phillies have been hitting the ball well lately too. 7-3 in their last 10 have gone over 8.5. They've scored 21 runs over their last 3 games. They're looking like the Phillies that we know the Phillies to be. So I'm going to go with the over in that one. And I'm going to take the under in the Dodgers-Pirates. I just don't trust either of these teams' bats right now. The only thing that has been consistent right now is Mitch Keller and Jack Flaherty. Give me the under 7.5. I think we see a 3-2, 4-2 type of game in this one.
Go over to Javon.
Yeah, I'm gonna take the under in the Pirates Dodgers game. First 5 only. Neither bullpen, are reliable to lock it down. They could both give up a lead at a moment's notice. So I can't take a full game. It's just too low. I could see a 5-3 game where it's 4-3 or something like that, or 3-3 in the late innings, 8th inning, 9th inning, and then next thing you know. Somehow, some way it goes over the total. So I'm not going to touch it full game. I will touch it first 5, though. I think this is going to be one of those pitchers' duels where we see either, blanks on the board or 1-0 or, 1-1 at the end of 5. Both of these pitchers have been nails, especially Flaherty. Now that he's on a good team, you're going to start seeing him, progress nicely. He's going to get some wins under his belt. I believe that, as these last 2 months, commence and the season ends. Mitch Keller, he's been doing his thing as well. So, I just think that first 5 is the way to go in that one.
All right, we go over to Kevin.
I'm going to go to that Dodgers game. Jack Flaherty is probably the best pitcher on today's card by far. This is his debut in LA. The guy's a stud. I mean, he's going to shut out the Pirates. I'm going to lay the run line here. I hate to take a public favorite but I'll take the run line and get plus 100 money. Mitch Keller, never know what you get. The Dodgers, they struggled because Freddie Freeman was out for about 6 days, personal reasons. We all know that. He comes back. He's a force. It changes the whole lineup. And I've been cashing his RBIs, his hits since he's been coming back. I think this is a huge game for Flaherty. Like I said, his home debut, we're going to go ahead and take that. And I'm going to take the under in that Colorado Braves team just because it's 10.5. You see those 2 pitchers, Holmes and I don't even know, 10.5 is way too low. So there's a reason it's that low. I'm going to take the under 10.5.
There you go from Kevin. Welcome, Dana Lane. Join in progress. Dana, this is the morning format. We just got to go through 3 games at a time. I'll let you know the 3 games we're talking about here. If you have a pick on them, you can give one or all 3. We got this group of games: Braves, Rockies, Phillies, Diamondbacks, and Pirates, Dodgers.
Yeah, okay, this is brand new. Okay.
All right.
We're all going to talk together. Okay, well,
Yeah.
Surprise!
Official format.
Okay. I'm
All
sitting here,
caps.
so focused on the Tigers Giants, and you're like, I'd love to talk about the Pirates actually, and I would love to be a fly on the wall in that locker room right now. I mean, you guys know that they made a lot of changes at the deadline and in hopes of getting into the postseason, but certainly this is just not an organization. I think we all knew if we watched them enough. We just all knew that there wasn't enough there. And you can add Paul Skeens in, and you can put him in every 5 or 6 days. And Mitch Keller's 10-5 this year, but just not an organization that I think is ready for the postseason. Now, do I think that they're going to be pretty good next year? Yep, they probably will be very good. I don't know what they're going to do with Cruz at short, but I just don't see them. They are in such a tough spot right now, and as far as their schedule is concerned, I just don't. As good as Keller is, they're going to go up, like you guys said, against Flaherty tonight. He's going to go up against pitchers that are as good as he is, and I just think this is going to be the time where the Pirates just start to kind of Homer Simpson it back into the hedges, because this schedule is absolutely brutal. And are not better than the Dodgers. And now you're going to ask this team to go to San Diego after they lost 3 games at home and take 2 out of 3 down there. I just don't see it. In fact, they don't have a winnable game on their series on their schedule until September, when they play the Washington Nationals. Everything else is a team that they should lose to, or a team that is inside their division that probably wants to beat up on them a little bit.
Dana, a lifelong Pirate fan, speaking like one. No hope for his team.
Yeah.
No. They can't climb over the wall. The schedule's too. We'll see how it rolls here, Dana Lane. All right. This is the dogs. These are all dogs. All dogs. Rockies plus 142 here against the Braves. The Braves are struggling at the plate. We know, hey, at home, this is where you take the Rockies at that big plus price. If you look at the Atlanta bullpen, they kind of struggled over the past 10 games as well. Atlanta's not been a good favorite, losing 12.5 units. So I'll take the Rockies the plus price, and give me these bats with the Diamondbacks plus 143 here against the Phillies. Look at they had won 12 of 14 games when this series began. The Phillies losing 7 of 10. So the Arizona came in as a hotter team. They've been good at this price range, 7-5 when line between plus 120 and 150. We'll look at the D-backs there. And, of course, I will go with Dana's Pirates here, that big plus price. The Dodger bullpen at home now creeping up over four now. Keller, 16 record behind him, 16-6, a plus 10-unit return. The Pirates, when they're at this big price range here, 9-9, returning 4 units. And hey, look, the Pirates have won 9 of 13 on the road. This Pirate team's winning on the road. We have not seen this. I don't know how it's this. We are family, I think. It's been that long. But look at the Pirates here at plus 165. It's an all-dog 3-game hit for me in that time period. All right, let's continue. Let's close it out here with this late evening baseball. The next 2 games on the board, Mets and Mariners, Tigers and Giants. We go over to Brian.
Yeah, for me here, I think maybe the best free pick on the board tonight, the Seattle Mariners at home in the money line. The homestand for Seattle hasn't really gone their way. The disappointing series against the Detroit Tigers, and this is a homestand where they need to make some ground up. You got Bryce Miller on the mound, 4-1 last 5, 2.76 ERA, averaging close to 6 innings per start. Jose Quintana hasn't been bad for the Mets, but if you're going to give me Bryce Miller at under minus 130. Desperate Seattle team with the best pitchers in baseball altogether, team ERA. I'll take the Seattle Mariners at home on the money line.
All right, we'll go over to Rod.
I mean, this spot, I'm going to go the other way. I'm going to take the Mets.
You bastard.
I got to take the Mets here on this spot. I just can't trust Seattle against left-handed pitching. Jose Quintana is going to look like an ace out there again with Seattle. Seattle at home is hitting a $192 against left-handed pitching this season. You want to take it even better. Even over the last 5, they're hitting a $152 versus left-handed pitching. So for me on that one, it's Mets all day. Mets also, where's the stat I see? The Mets have also won their last 9 night games against teams that hold a winning record. So this is one of those spots that the Mets are going to get up. I trust the Mets bets way more than I do Seattle's in that one. Give me the Mets in that one. And then the last one in this time spot,
Tigers, Giants.
And you know what? In this one, you look who this Detroit team against left-handed hitting. They're hitting $122. Only one way to go for me. Give me the Giants. I know it's the first game back off a road trip for the Giants. It's usually a phase spot, but not here in this one. I got to take Robbie Ray and the Giants. I think they win by more than 2. I'm going to take the Stendo line, as Jovan says. Take the -2.5. I think they beat up on Detroit in that one.
There you go from Ron over to Kirk.
Yeah, I don't really love these last 2 games, but I would lean towards the Giants run line and the Mets on the money line in this one as well. Mets have played really good baseball, and this is a really important series for both of them. I think, though, they can get to Miller in this one, and giving me plus money on the Mets, I'll take them on Friday night, and not real opinion on the other game. I don't really not too high on this time slot.
All right, over to Javon.
Who's the starting pitcher for Detroit?
For Detroit, I am showing here Kenta Maeda, a good friend of mine. Kenta Maeda against Robbie Ray. They both combined for 12 ERA of 11 combined for starters.
Right. This is just a nasty game. But with that said, you get paid on nasty games also. And with that said, I'm gonna pull out that single clip the other way, reverse run line on the Detroit Tigers. That's what I'm gonna do with it. I just don't think Robbie Ray could piece together another quality start. I think he gets hit. I don't care, about Detroit not being able to hit lefties. I think they either get to him or the bullpen some way, somehow. So give me the Detroit Tigers. You can take them straight money line also because you're getting a plus price, but you might want to go for the gold with it.
There you go. Now over to Kevin Thomas.
Yeah, I'm going to take Seattle the Seattle Mariners on the money line just because Bryce Miller's pitching, and we all know that park is set up for him. A lot of success there. And on the other side, I'm going to take the under in the Giants-Detroit game. Like Rod said, San Fran's back home. They're a fade, but if you look at all the injuries, especially with the Tigers, Green's out. A lot of the hitters are out. Same thing with the Giants, Strada. So I'm going to take the under 7.5. I don't expect a lot of runs there.
All right, we'll go over to Dana.
I think Seattle probably feels extremely lucky after being an out away of from being swept last night. I think they got extremely fortunate against the Tigers. So I'm not sure exactly where they are from a mental standpoint, especially now that it's a dogfight with the Houston Astros after it really hasn't been for most of the year. So I'm kind of shying away from this game, just not because I want to go with Seattle. I just don't think they're in a good spot right now. Even after that victory, I don't know how good they can feel about that. I know sometimes getting off of a series is sometimes the best tonic for how you feel. But speaking of that, in the next game of Detroit and San Francisco, this is interesting because Detroit's both pitching is kind of up in the air. I thought Bo Brisky might start this game, but that's not going to happen. But as far as Robbie Ray is concerned, he's been very well liked by the odds makers. We see the 7.5 gets put up there, but if this becomes a bullpen game, it's going to be a real problem. And maybe the Giants have to do the majority of the heavy lifting in this one. But we know last night the Tigers used 4 relievers out of the pen to come within and out of victory. So that's going to be a problem. They're going to ask a lot of their starter tonight. And as far as Robbie Ray is concerned, a really good first outing coming off of the injured list, but his last 2 outings, he has dealt with a ton of base runners. And I think this 7.5 is really where it should be. But I think that once they get to the bullpen, I think this game's going to go open up and go over that 7.5.
Yeah, especially you get that giant submariner in there.
Yeah.
He gets
the other thing, too, is run support certainly hasn't been a problem for Robbie Ray. He's got 8 runs twice, and I think, 3 or 4 runs the other game. They averaged 6 runs a game for him in his 3 starts. So I do like the Giants going back home, and I think the offense is going to be plentiful for them. And like I said, they might have to do the heavy lifting tonight.
Yeah, and familiar too with me here with Seattle under Seattle Mets. Now this situation, interleague game. Now here we got a National League team going into the Seattle ballpark, and I think may throw off the batters a little bit. These balls don't carry well in Seattle. I like to play that angle when I have an interleague team for the first. They go there every 2 years. I like to look at the unders, especially when they're in Seattle or they're in Oakland. Not so much Anaheim. Anaheim's more inland, so you don't get that ocean air as much. It's a longer drive from Anaheim. Trust me, I know it. I ride my bike from Anaheim to the Huntington Beach. It's a long drive, long ride over there. So anyway, I'll go under there. And I'm going to take the Tigers. Are a pretty good road team. I know someone's bashing Maeda, but let me tell you, Robin Ray could look at like Maeda a lot of times. He does get in trouble by the home runs. And Detroit, I know they have their issue hitting, but their pitching staff has been good. The Giants have gone under a lot at home. I do like Detroit. I also like the under in the game as well. The under 4 of 6 here on the road for the Tigers. And actually, believe it or not, the Giants bullpen has improved over the past 10 games, but I'll look there under as well. All right, let's continue here on the drive. As you know, morning show format, you guys seem to like it. Obviously, our live audience has grown tremendously since we went into this format, and we're going to continue the format here, guys. And we've listened to you. You guys got it right. All right, here we go to the preseason football. We'll knock 3 of these off. You can play or pass. It's up to you. I know some of you folks handicap it, some of you don't, but we'll look at the games here. Beginning top of the hour, then one at 7:30 at the end here. Texans, Steelers, Falcons, Dolphins, Eagles, and Orioles on baseball, and Ravens. Let's go over to Brian.
You know what? I'm going to try to be 3 for 3 going against Rod. I'm sure he's going to be on the other side. Maybe I'm jumping the boat on this one. I'm going to take the Philadelphia Eagles here. I liked them earlier in the day when it was -1. Now they're seeing 2.5. I just think the Eagles. Well, I think the preseason football comes down a lot to rotation and depth chart. I think the Eagles here with Will Greer, you got Tanner McKee and Kenny Pickett. I think they have a better quality at quarterback. If you look at Baltimore Ravens. Josh Johnson's starting for the Ravens. He's a seasoned veteran here. And I know the Ravens have a long track record of winning in the preseason. I think this line tells you what you need to know. They're kind of begging you to take Baltimore. I'll take the Eagles here on the road, lay the points.
All right. We go over to Rod.
And in that game there, I like the over. I think it opened at 34.5, and it's slowly creeping up. And it's one of those ones. I know it's preseason, but at 36, where I see it at, I like the better at 34.5. But I think we get some scoring in the Eagles and Baltimore. So I like the. There's definitely some backup quarterbacks on both teams that can move the ball and score some points. So take the over in that one, and I like the under in Atlanta and Miami. We know Miami's backup QBs are Mike White and Skylar Thompson. The only question marks for me is the Miami defense, and that's their question marks. They have a bunch of new guys on defense for this Dolphins team, and we'll see some of those guys here in this preseason. But on the other side, with Penix and Heineke getting this bulk of the work for Atlanta, I think that I would have to lean to Atlanta, but I like the under 38 in that one. And we see a lot of running. No, it's kind of like what we seen last night in those games, lower scoring in that one. And Houston and Pittsburgh. I kind of like the over in that one between Houston and Pittsburgh. I think we got the Steelers, who we know in preseason they like to actually play for Tomlin and try to score some points. So at 38.5, this is one of those rare ones I like to go over. We've seen Houston in that Hall of Fame game. They were part of some scoring as well. So give us the over 38.5 in that one.
Yeah, from Ron, we go over to Kirk.
I'm actually going to skip the preseason today.
Skipping the preseason over to Jamal.
Yeah, I'm not going to skip any preseason game. I'm on the Falcons Dolphins over. It's just a situation where you got the quarterback play that can actually move the ball up and down the field. Penix, he hasn't had any experience in the NFL, but I think he's gonna light up this Dolphins defense. Second stringers, third stringers, fourth stringers, and Taylor Heineke. All he does is whenever he gets in the game, he likes to perform. So he's still trying to show that he could stay in this league as a backup, and I think that he makes some hay also on the other side. Skylar Thompson, he has shown something in past preseasons. So I think that he could put some points on the board. And who's the other backup for Miami?
Mike White.
Mike White. Yeah, Mike White also. He's one of those guys where, last time, what I remember from him is when he was with the Jets a couple seasons back, and kind of lit it up. So these are guys that like to that want to prove themselves. It's open auditions, and throughout these preseason games, and these backups they want to show and prove. So I think this is a game where you could zone in on the over and cash. Texans and
Pittsburgh.
Steelers. Can't bet against Mike Tomlin in preseason ball. Basically, is how I'm gonna put it. You give me +3, I'm a back the Steelers all day. That's the long and the short of it there. And even though I like what the Texans have as far as their depth chart goes, especially in the QB room, I just Tomlin's gonna have them boys ready from the top of the roster to the bottom. So I think it's gonna be a close one. And nobody wants to tie in preseason, so you might see a straight cover, a 1 point, 2 point game.
I know they added to the game was Eagles Ravens, I believe, an add-on game tonight also as well.
Yeah, I'm not. I mean, not to say I'm not touching it, but that's not a that's not something I'm willing. Information I'm willing to divulge.
There you go. All right. I just want to make sure I just want to make sure that you guys where that game is on the schedule. All right, over to Kevin.
We got the battle of the Buckeyes, right? We got Fields, who's got to try to prove himself, and I think Stroud's going to go in for the first series for the Texans. Look, it's Arthur's first season as the offensive coordinator for the Pittsburgh Steelers. We know in Atlanta he's a kind of run-heavy kind of guy, and the Steelers are one of the top teams at finding running backs like they find linebackers. But because of the Texans getting screwed out of the fourth quarter last in the Hall of Fame game, I think this is going to be another high-scoring game. I think they're going to still work on the pass with the backup quarterbacks once Stroud's out. I would take the over 38.5 there. And then I'm going to look at this Phillies-Baltimore game. We all know John Harbaugh loves to win preseason. He had the 22-win streak. I know it ended last year. But what happened to them against Kansas City Chiefs? I think he's more worried about health now. He knows who his players are. He knows who his quarterback is. The Eagles know. I think Jalen Hurts might play a series. They were talking about it. But I wouldn't touch the total just because we've had 2 or 3 tornado warnings in the area. I'm about 3 hours away from Baltimore. I don't know which way it's heading. This could be like a Hall of Fame game at halftime where they just say that's enough. But I would look at the Phillies just because Kenny Pickett was a Steeler and faced Baltimore. He game planned against that defense. It's Tomlin's defense. He knows it inside and out. If there's a quarterback that can pass against second and third stringers, it's going to be Kenny Pickett tonight. Playing for his Eagles. He's a New Jersey boy. That's all the talk around here. So I'm going to go ahead and take the Eagles laying the points here.
Guys from Kevin Thomas. All right. I'll look at here at the plus points with Miami. They play a lot in the preseason. They've covered 5 of their past 6 preseason meetings. Atlanta was the lowest offensive scoring offense in the preseason last year, put up just under 11 points a game. There's a big battle with Miami in the receiver position. So I think they got to get that ball out. So I'll look at the plus price with Miami. Also, with the Steelers, piggyback on what Javon said, a career preseason mark for Tomlin, 40-24 straight up. They've covered 5 of their past 6 preseason openers, 3 1s at home dog. And I'll be looking here at the Steelers in that one. Of course, Philadelphia and Baltimore. I mean, Baltimore has a lot of good depth. That's when you win that many games in a row is because you actually have depth and you also coach winning. You don't coach losing. So I'll look for Harbaugh to continue the winning ways and take that plus price there with the Baltimore Ravens tonight. So we've got you covered with baseball preseason. Let's find out, before we get to Peripheral, let's find out what the guys have for sale. Brian, what do you have going on over at Pick Dawgz Premium?
Yeah, also a perfect 3-0 night. I actually got 5 plays on a Friday. And hopefully that I'm not going too crazy, but I love the board today. I got 1 CFL, 1 NFL, and 3 Major League Baseball. You can get all 5 in my Square Dancing Friday 5-pack. I know Kevin Thomas loves it. $50 at pickdawgz.com, or just get my best bet, my titanium play. You pick that up for $19 at pickdogs.com. Major League Baseball plus money winner.
And for me, over at Pick Dogs Premium, I've got 4 plays going today. I've got 3 preseason NFL in a package for you. And then I also got my 10-star MLB home run. You can scoop that up singly, or it is Friday. So that 3-day pass, I'll get you covered for Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I've also got some NFL that I've already got in there for the weekend. So definitely grab that 3-day pass. Use that promo code PICK at checkout to save 15% off your purchase over at Pick Dogs Premium.
All right, go over to Kirk. What do you got for sale?
Yeah, I got an MLB 3-pack today. I'm 9-3 in my last 12 MLB plays and looking to just extend the streak. So hop on board that or hop on board for the weekend, as I really love the card this weekend in the MLB. So you'll get it throughout Sunday if you hop on the 3-day.
There you go. Over to Joanne. What do you got for sale?
Yeah, got an MLB 3-pack and the NFL preseason 3-pack. You know, now that we're here in the NFL season, preseason, the season is officially begun. You know, as far as I'm concerned, you know, I'm locked and loaded, you know, ready to go. And with that in the fray, you know, it gives me a chance to, you know, zoom out, look at the baseball board more clearly, because when you just have have Major League Baseball in your midst, it gets a little bit tiresome, you know. So, you know, take a fresh look. Had a night off of MLB and saw some winners for today. So I think it's gonna be a hell of a night to carry into the weekend.
You got on board with Javon. Over to Kevin.
Yesterday, 2-0 preseason football. We have one top NFL preseason play for tonight, and it's the game I didn't talk about, Falcons-Dolphins. And then I still got 2 MLB picks you can get, or you can get all 3 of them in my ultimate 3-pack, the football and both baseball, all 3 of them. Or as always, partner me up with any of these great guys here on the show and get all our picks.
You go from Kevin Thomas. I got a best bet on the board right now for Major League Baseball, as well as the 3-pack for baseball. Get on board. Hey, you guys love that 3-day pass here on the weekend, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. All my premium plays here, Major League Baseball. So you get some preseason in there. I use promo code PICK at checkout, save you that 15% off. Also, multi-capper promotions. You can match me or with Rod, or Rod with Kevin, Javon with Brian, or all the 6 of us. You can do that as well if you'd like there with the multi-capper promotion. All right, it is now time for our peripheral segment where the cappers can give you a pick, well, from Olympic basketball, CFL, season win total, player prop. So this is our peripheral segment. We'll go over to Brian.
I'll do this one off the cuff. Wasn't prepared for it, but you know what? I'm going to take the Temple Owls over 2.5 wins. Look at their schedule here. You might wonder, how the hell are they going to get to 2.5 wins? But you look, they got Army on the schedule. I think they can take care of Army at home at Temple. They got Tulsa at home. I think they can knock them off. And then they got UConn on the road. The Huskies, never known for winning college football. It's possible they could knock off UConn. I'll take the plus money here, the Temple Owls over 2.5 wins.
That's right. So in peripheral saying we can also go week 1 NFL, week 0 college football. So this is peripheral, guys. This is what the guys can give you early picks or player props, whatever. You know what, Rod, in CFL. Okay, Rod, time for your bonus peripheral.
Now for me, in the CFL tonight, we've got the city that I love to hate. It is the Calgary Stampeders taking on the Toronto Argonauts. Calgary just beat them last week. And you know what? I think they continue to beat Toronto and get their first win on the road this season. Calgary is winless on the road this season so far, but they are 2-0-2 ATS heading into Toronto. They're also 4-0-1 ATS against these Argos. They love to get up for this game. And with the Argos starting a third stringer in Arbuckle here, I remember Arbuckle playing for the Elks, and it wasn't a pretty sight to behold. That was amidst the losing streak of the Elks. Considering Arbuckle is going to continue the losing, and Calgary finally gets their first road win. You know, on Friday nights, this Toronto team definitely doesn't play as well either. They struggle on Friday nights. I believe it's like 12, 25, and 3 ATS on Friday nights are these Argos. Not yelling Argos in this one. Take Calgary Stampeders on the money line at the plus price.
There you go from Rod. All right, peripheral from Kirk.
Yeah, I'm going to be looking at both Olympic basketball games tomorrow. I'm going to take the under in Serbia versus Germany. It's at 170. You need a 90 to 80 type of game in this. And Germany is a very slow-paced team. I know Serbia is a faster-paced team, but with Jokic out there, things are a little bit slower. And I think the game against the U.S. even went under that total, even though, I mean, I did not see Serbia miss on that whole first half. And once they got back down to earth, it was a slower-paced game. I don't think this goes over 170. And then I'm going to have to take the U.S. minus 16. I do not believe at all in this French team. I don't like how Wemby has been playing at all. Gobert's not playing at all. Their best players are Gershon Yabusele and Isaiah Cordinier. If you haven't heard of them, you probably won't ever again after these Olympics. And, yeah, I mean, the U.S. almost lost, and they're going to come out really hot. They're not going to take it easy on this French team. I don't think France is a top 4 team in the world. I think Serbia, Canada are still better. Germany's still a better team than them, and I don't trust this French team at all. So give me USA minus 16.
All right, over to Javon. Any peripheral?
I'm gonna be on the other side on the Olympic gold medal game as far as the point spread. Never underestimate the home crowd in the Olympic final game if they're in it. It's been a while, but I think since the last time was 96 maybe. But yeah, it's just one of those. It's just one of those things where you saw it in the semifinal game. They was in the deficit, and then that second quarter they came alive, and the crowd had a big part in it. We know some of these names. It's from the French squad. Fournier, he was shooting the lights out. Cornier, Yabusele from the Celtics. Of course, we know Wemby. You might see more of Rudy Gobert in this one. Whether he's a liability or not, they're going to play their hearts out, is really the long and the short of it. And I think this is just too many points, in a hostile environment for the U.S. team. The U.S. team playing with their food, they think it's sweet out there. They almost lost. I was rooting for them to lose. Really, to be quite frank, because it is what it is. You got LeBron and all of them. They think that they could just walk into the building and get it done, with no effort. And it took a lot of effort to get that one, And I think it might have taken something out of them, to be quite frank. I think they're gonna win? Yeah, I think they'll win, but I think it's gonna be more of a battle than what many people think. A lot of people believe that it's gonna be that last game was a wake up call. I don't believe that at all. I think that they play a lot of ISO ball, and if Steph Curry's not hitting his shot, they might be in trouble.
Oh, John says they're going to hit the snooze button, not the wake up button. All right, let's go over to Kevin. The peripheral player props.
I'm going to go back to that Dodgers game. I talked highly about Jack Flaherty. You can get him at 9 strikeouts plus 240 at DraftKings, and then Freddie Freeman for an RBI plus 175. I locked that in at MGM. So I use all the different apps when I place my prop bets, try to get us the best money. But the only one I could find for Flaherty was a +9 to get us plus money. You can do over 8 for 125, which might be a little bit safer. I just don't think the Pirates are going to be hitting Flaherty tonight.
There you go from Kevin. Now I'm going to be looking at Germany plus the 2. I think Serbia is in a real letdown spot, flat spot. You had the U.S. on the ropes, gold medal in your hands, and you let it get away. I just don't think they can be motivated to win a bronze medal. At this point, you're dealing with a lot of professionals, even on Serbia. These guys, you've got some NBA players that are making millions and millions of dollars, even some pretty good European, the Euro leagues. I don't see the motivation being here for a bronze. You don't when you're at this age, you don't go to the Olympics to win a bronze. I can understand the college age kids, but for these professionals, it's gold or it's something when you play in a professional league, it's winning the title, winning it all. So I don't see a motivation at all for Serbia in that game against Germany. So I'll take the 2 points with them. All right, in closing, anybody have any last words before we close out for the weekend?
Xander Bogaerts, it's Steak Friday. So, hey, it's Xander Bogaerts to get an RBI and get us that ribeye steak. He's hit, 6 of those ribeyes? Nice. 8 of the last 10, I believe. 8 of his last 10 games, he's hit a ribeye. So take Xander Bogaerts to get us a ribeye, nice plus 190. I'll cover up dinner tonight.
Hey, Brian, you got a video series of Pick Dawgz also, right?
Yeah, make sure every day you tune in to the Pick Dawgz YouTube channel. My sharp betting contrarian predictions already recorded tomorrow's video. It's an NFL preseason free winner. Make sure you check it out at pickdawgz.com, the YouTube channel.
I know, Kirk, you got a lot going on over at the YouTube channel. You got the totals, of course, soccer starting. I know we got some of the lower leagues starting, Japan starting. I know we're getting very close to the start of the big leagues in soccer.
Yeah, and Goran's got me going crazy already. He wants me recording like 20 videos a week, so that's going to be a lot along with the other sports. So it's going to be a lot of content for me over on the site.
Javon, what you got going with the parlays?
Yep. So 60 seconds or less. Parlays, video shorts,
Get right to it. Get right to the point.
and then
Yeah, what do you-
like old time robbery.
That's it. Kevin, what you got going on the Pick Dawgz video series?
I'm doing a pick every night. Right now, it's all baseball. We got WNBA starting up in about 2 weeks, and we got football. So hopefully, they can get some thumbnails made with me doing other sports.
All right, hands
WNBA
up. Are you,
back in 6 days.
6 days, huh?
6
That's right,
days, WNBA back. August
WNBA.
15th, WNBA is back. 6 days,
All right.
not 2 weeks.
Show of hands. Who's on the weekend show on Saturday? Show of hands. Me and Javon. How about on Sunday? There you go. You guys know who's on Saturday and Sunday. That's going to do it, guys. Have a great weekend, everyone. Thanks for joining us. Appreciate all the great comments from you guys. I know you folks in the comment land, some are liking some of this format. We're seeing the numbers up, man. There's no question. Rob's been tallying them up, way up. All right, guys. Have a great night. Have a great weekend. We'll catch up with you guys next week.